Hey YouTube, Justin with Tac 2 Weapons here for the Second Amendment. Today I'm going to show you how to take the upper and lower loose off of the Gforce arms, Gf25. First of all, what you're going to need is a Phillips head screwdriver, and you'll want to take the butt pad off of this gun. As you can see here, this is the butt pad. I just got regular number 2 Phillips head here. I'm going to unscrew this screw about halfway out. After you get it out, it should look like that. That's about halfway. Pull up on the bottom here, like this, and then pull straight down, and this will come off. You see there's a nub sticking up there that goes into your top of your stock on this gun, so you can see that there. I'm going to set this aside. What you're going to need is a 3/8 ratchet with some extensions on it. You can either use 2 long extensions or 2 little ones and a long one with a 1/2 inch socket. And you can also use a deep well if you want to get more height. So we're going to reach down inside of here and get that socket to drop down on top of that bolt. After we get it to drop, there, it just did. So, after we get this loose here, we want to take and separate the upper and lower of the gun. I'll show you something here when all this comes out. I'm going to grab the upper and lower like this with my finger through the trigger, and unscrew all this out of there. And there's going to be a spacer, a lock washer, and a bolt come out of here. See if we got a hold of it yet. Nope. Still, this is a kind of a long bolt that's in there. So, let me get a little bit more on here. After you get this loose, you want to take, you'll see it's coming up more on the extension. I'm going to flip it over like this and unscrew it. And while I'm holding on to the upper and the lower together, I'm going to try to do this so you guys can see all this here that comes out. Hopefully it all stays together without pulling the bolt out of the socket. Right there is our bolt, our spacer, and underneath the spacer, on top of the bolt, is a lock nut. Right there. So, we're going to leave all of that together on how it came out, because this piece here is contoured a little bit, so it only goes in and seats in there one way. You can see, like towards my finger, it's sloped downward towards this side. I don't know if the camera's really picking that up or not, but I can see it by looking at it. I'm just going to pull this bolt out and set it aside. And take our extension and everything that's laid over here. Now to pull this upper off of the lower, we're going to pull straight forward towards like where the front end of the gun would be. And you'll start to see the back separating. We'll lift up on the back a little bit and pull off, because you gotta clear the hammer. So that's pretty much the upper. Go ahead and clean it. Make sure everything's lubed up in there. And inspect it. Make sure it's wearing okay and all that. So when I put this back together, I'll put it back together like if I was to show you guys in the other video, so I could do a disassemble of it that way. So that's pretty much showing how you separate the two halves, but pretty much like an AR. I will show you guys here on something. When I reached in through the magazine well and I pulled down on the feed ramp, I'll show you guys something here, because we want this feed ramp to clear your guide rail system here for the gas system. The feed ramp will only go down so far when you push down on the takedown lever. It goes down about that far. So you can either reach through the chamber or reach up through the mag well with your finger and just pull down on it. That will clear the entire guide rod system. And then when our feed ramp goes back up, it goes back up and latches right against place. So it doesn't really move when I do that. But just remember to do that and it'll come apart a lot easier. That's pretty much on how it comes apart. What I'd recommend doing is inspecting everything down in here. Make sure there's no powder residue buildup, anything like that. Check out the safety, make sure it's working okay. Everything looks good down in here. Do a function test on our hammer. It come right up. And remember, when this gun goes back together, it should look like that. So your bolt and everything goes back smoothly. You don't have to worry about pushing back on this and it latching and everything. So it's already down. But a hammer's got pretty good tension on it. And it looks like it's, you can see how well everything's built in there pretty nicely, actually.